Hey guys, welcome back to another Flesh and Blood video. This video is proudly brought to you by the House of Cards, the official sponsor of my stream. Be sure to check out the link in the description below for all of your Flesh and Blood needs. Prism has very quickly taken the CC meta by storm, and in order to be ready with Victor, we have to adjust. It's been a long time since we were forced to play cards like Time Skippers and Time Snap Potion to stop ourselves from getting looped and getting beaten out by auras over and over again every turn. The real question we have to ask ourselves is, does Time Skippers give us enough points into Prism to warrant it being worth the sideboard slot? Thanks for stopping by, guys. I hope you enjoy the match. I am a little surprised to see Ironhide Gauntlet here, but this could be interesting. So I think I'm just gonna pass to them, and if they just say okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and Arsenal the Disable. I think that'll Arsenaling the Disable is like a pretty good attack we can still throw at them, so... All right, Genesis is like an automatic kill on sight. Genesis and Passing Mirage, pretty good open from our opponent here. I don't think that we can afford to use Time Skippers here. I think we're forced to just go ahead and kill the Genesis. Pitching the Macho Grande, knowing that we can just block with a couple of cards and then kill Passing Mirage if we need to. But I don't think we want to waste Time Skippers on this on turn 0. I don't think this is where we want to be at in this game. Like, I think we would much rather try and save the Time Skippers for the loop. Or maybe to get like a couple Merciful Retributions off the board. Like, there's a couple of options that we have here. Okay, so they play Arclight Sentinel during our turn. Not really sure why they play that during our turn. Just as well on their turn. And again, we're just going to throw the hammer here. We'll go ahead and pitch the Debilitate here so that we can keep a couple of cards that are over 6. And we'll just go into our next turn here, just kind of clearing the board a little bit. Wartune Herald, we'll go ahead and give the Buckling Blow here. Oh, it doesn't have Phantasm. I'm supposed to block that out. I completely forgot. I wasn't even thinking. That would have been a great time to give the Boulder Drop there. Although taking 3 is not the end of the world. We can kill the Passing Mirage depending on what they decide to do this turn. I definitely should have given the Boulder Drop right there. Now we've just given them an opportunity to set up. So we're already looking at a pretty early mistake for me in this game. The protection, the Spectral Shield, like, doesn't really mean anything to me. Like, generally we win this game or we don't. So, like, I don't know. Like, I'm not too concerned about the Spectral Shield. It does let them flip into the Angel. So I think what we're gonna do is we're just gonna give 3. We'll just take 1. We'll go to 33. They'll go to 36. Or no, I'm sorry. We'll go to 36. They'll go to 33. I had that backwards. And then I am going to kill the Angel, and then we'll just play around. We'll just go ahead and play around the Passing Mirage this turn correctly, unlike last turn when I actually did not. It would have been really nice to be able to give the... Excuse me. I would have been able to give those 2 cards, and then I would have gave Buckling Blow and Boulder Drop, and then I would have been able to give the... Disable, and then I would have just thrown the hammer at the Passing Mirage and there would have been no Angel in play. So definitely made a mistake right there. We draw into a Sink Below, which is not bad. I mean, Sink Below is pretty good here. This would be a nice time to have like one other piece of equipment to block with here. But I think what we're going to do is give the Spinal Crush and then the Sink Below here. We'll just go ahead and give the Sink Below, and then I think we'll just go ahead and put our Chokeslam on the bottom. That'll be our 5th card we put on the bottom. So, well, immediately punished for my decision there, which means we might just be giving Crown on whatever they do next here. Probably what we're looking at. It also like really depends on like what they give up here. Like what they attack us with. They're just going to pass. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. So there's not a way for me to get rid of everything here. Or I'm sorry, attack them and actually... There's not a way for me to attack them and then do that. So I think we're just going to clear the Passing Mirage and pass back here. And then hopefully we draw into a few poppers here. I thought that putting the Chokeslam on the bottom would be a good play, but I guess it wasn't. Ended up drawing into one of my Go Again cards and kind of getting punished there. Again, I don't really understand what their want to play this on my turn is. Disables also the 6 card we put back into our deck for pitch stack here. Everything we put back has been poppers so far, so I'm pretty okay with just killing the Arclight Sentinel, pitching the Wallop here. I think that's an okay line of play from us. We can just keep this. Okay. Yep. So we're going to pitch the Thunk here on our turn to pay for the Merciful and try to keep our life up here. This is why I bring the Null Rune Gloves in, just to try and play around things like this. I mean, if we're going to leave them with one passing Mirage, then the other one doesn't matter, right? Like, it's just kind of irrelevant. What we can do, though, is attack them. We actually do get to attack them here a little bit. Since we have a Go Again card, we can throw some damage at them. They end up taking the damage. Interesting. And then, again, we're just going to hammer the Merciful Retribution here. And we will pay 1 for the Merciful here, keep the Spinal Crush in our hand. It's not necessarily a great card, but it is like, I mean, Spinal's good, but like it's not necessarily great in the fact that we want a lot of blues in our hand, but we are looking to use it as a popper here. Now we're 8 cards into pitch deck. With the passing Mirage in play, the Tests of Strength actually could line up really well for us. That's the reason that I play a couple of the cards like that. A couple of cards like that is because I want to be able to block efficiently. And we'll just go ahead and block 7 here. I really want to save Crown for when we need it. We win off the Command and Conquer, which is kind of nice. So, and then we have the Spinal Crush to pop this. Yep. Spinal Crush gets the Phantasm here, which is perfectly fine. We're going to overpitch to kill one of the passing Mirages. And this way, if they do flash a Merciful Retribution in, we still have a resource to pay. We have Tunic regardless, so it doesn't really matter. Yes, let's go blue than that. And that's 12 cards into our deck. Okay, Halo of Illumination. All right. And the passing Mirage is still active, so it's not exactly like we're going crazy. Like, they have the passing Mirage and Halo, which means that like they have pretty good options here. We are going to need to kill the Angel and kill the passing Mirage this turn if possible. So what I might do is I may just give the... This is an Illusionist attack, right? I don't really know how this gets worded or how this works. I am going to take 4. They're going to get 2 cards back into their hand. And then we'll wait and see if their next card has this. Okay. So we can actually kill the Angel and the Arclight Sentinel here. Maybe I'm drawing a card here. So I'm just trying to think here to make sure that I have everything set up correctly here so that I'm doing the math correctly. This is like the first time I played Time Skipper. So if we pitch this, so if we crack into a blue, which there's no guarantee of, if we draw into a blue, crack the gold into a blue, we can go Zealous Hammer because it costs this to play this, blue here, blue for hammer, and then we'd have 1 floating. Actually, yeah, we'd have to draw into a blue here. So we're going to crack Time Skippers. I think getting the second Arclight Sentinel off the field, or is this the third? Yeah, this is the third Arclight. So doing that, maybe I'm just supposed to kill... No, I think we're supposed to... Yeah, let's kill... We'll pitch this. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. That's not how that works. I apologize, opponent. I need to send Hammer at the Arclight Sentinel is the way this needs to go. We need to crack a gold, hopefully draw into a blue. We do, thankfully. And then we get to throw Rouse... I'm sorry, we get to throw Zealous at the Angel, and then we get to kill Passing Mirage. So this actually lines up very well for us because we were able to use Time Skippers to actually kill a ton of relevant stuff here. Now, we've been able to just block the Passing Mirage so far, which has been pretty good for us, but block out the like non-Phantasm attacks. But like our opponents played through a lot of their combo pieces here, and we've used them to clear accordingly, which has been, I think this has been very good for us. This has been very good. We had to use the gold, but I mean, I think that's ultimately like what the gold is there for in this matchup. Like, I think this was a good turn cycle for us, like all the way around. This was a good line of play for us. And he could flip the protection here if he wants to like try and start swinging some more angels at me, but we'll just kill the angel next turn as well. And then what we've seen 2 Zealous Beltings, so we have 1 more Zealous Beltings, and we have 3 E-Strikes in our deck that we haven't seen. Why are there copies of Miller's Grindstone over here? That's really weird. I don't think that's supposed to be that way. Let's go ahead and pop this. I think popping this with an 8 is okay. And then I think we can just throw the Titan's Fist at the Pierce Reality here. We'll just play into keeping the board clean at this point. Like, we've done a pretty good job of keeping it clear from here. So we ended up killing the Pierce Reality there, pitching the Golden Sun and the Wallop. And we're going to go Golden Sun, then the Wallop, because we want to see our poppers. Here's also an Out Muscle. Does not play very well with this hand that's put together here, but we could have potential to use Crown if we wanted to here. So we're going to block with a 9, because even if they have a -3 here without Halo in play, there's no way for them to give this -4. Unless they're on like the red one. I think the red reprimand is -4, or maybe that's -3. I can't remember off the top of my head, but so there's no more Arclight Sentinels left in the deck, which means if they're going to get one, they have to get it from over here. So from here, we could be able to like try and have like a value game plan. Could be what we're looking at. I think this is not bad to actually just throw the Disable at my opponent. Or maybe I'm supposed to throw the Command and Conquer. I actually really like throwing the Command and Conquer here because it represents... we could have a Pummel. This card has been sitting in our arsenal since turn 0, so like we could have a Pummel here. And we just haven't had anything that we really wanted to play it with. But I highly doubt our opponent's going to play around the Pummel here. Like, this isn't... I don't know. Like, we haven't really played in a way that like represents we're trying to be aggressive, but I think we've played the correct way, trying to clear the auras and just trying to play patiently here. I'm really intrigued by the gauntlet there. That's really interesting to me. I don't know, like I don't see that very often. So we just pitched a blue. So I think we're okay to pitch double red here, honestly, to throw this. I think this is fine. There might be some world where I'm supposed to give up. There might be some world where I am supposed to give up. I don't know, Tunic there. I don't know. That feels wrong. We're going to go Chokeslam, Cranial, then Out Muscle. Out Muscle is not guaranteed in this matchup by any means. Out Muscle is like not a guaranteed go again card at all. So I'm going to go ahead and go E-Strike, putting the Boulder Drop on the bottom. We have like all poppers. We have like 3 poppers on the bottom. It's like Rouse and then 3 poppers we put back. So I think we're looking to... I think we can afford to throw the out muscle here. They might put something in front of this. No, they just decide to take it. I mean, we're just going to throw the hammer here. I'm never going to throw Miller's Grindstone at them. That is like a horrible trap here. Miller's Grindstone at this point is literally only in the deck for this matchup. There are other matchups that I'm sure people will say I should run it into, but the downside vastly outweighs the upside that I see for that card. Okay. I mean, honestly, that's fine. Like that is perfectly fine with me. We're going to throw, let's see, we're going to kill Retribution here. We're going to pitch the Buckling Blow, and then we're going to pitch the Disable for the Arcane Barrier here. We could use Tunic, but I think I would rather save Tunic for like a different turn. They've already played one Tome, right? Thought they played a Tome early. Maybe I'm going crazy. Did they not play a Tome of Divinity like pretty early on in the game? All the cards are light. I guess they didn't. I guess I'm like going crazy here. I guess it's just the one Tome they've played so far. They're going to flash in a Genesis. Okay. I mean, that is a very good way for them. Wow. Double Genesis? Man. All right. Well, that's a very good way for them to like start really trying to generate some value here against us. Unfortunately, there's not much I can do about that. We've already used Time Skippers to... We use Time Skippers to clear a Arclight, a Passing, an Arclight, a Passing, and a and the Soraya Angel. So not much I can do there, but we are just going to kill the Genesis here. We're going to attack one of the Genesis here, and we're going to... Actually, you know what? I'm just going to throw the Debilitate at one of them because I don't really care about it. And we actually just get to pitch everything this way and then arsenal a Sink Below, which means if we do get caught in a spot where we need a Sink Below, we do have one to back us up if we need it. Let's go like this. I think that's fine. This would be a very good hand to be able to give up a Golden Sun to pop something and then try to throw some damage at them with Zealous, and then from there go into hammer the Genesis here. But I am first and foremost, I mean, I guess technically like they could flash in the... Okay, I mean, Merciful doesn't really scare me that much, to be honest. I am going to use Tunic to go ahead and protect myself from the Merciful trigger, which is fine. It's definitely not ideal, but it's okay. Okay, they put Rebirth into play, which means they're definitely looking for a turn where they can try to set up the loop. The important thing to note here is that they cannot loop me as long as this Merciful is in play. So priority number one here is actually killing the Genesis and trying to like stay on top of that train to make sure that we're actually killing the Genesis here. And then after that, we'll probably leave the Merciful in play until we can actually get to a situation. There's no reason to attack them here, right? Like, we might as well just, like, send this at the Genesis. I think that's the better play, because we can't attack multiple things here, unfortunately. And if I do attack them, they'll just take some damage and deal some Arcane to us. And I think we're actually better off to just go this route. That should be... Is that the third Merciful they've played? Yeah, that's the last Merciful, too. So, like, once we clear it, they're probably going to leave this in play. They're probably going to leave the... this is a tough hand. This is a really bad hand. They're probably just going to let the Rebirth sit there until we actually like give them a reason to do something here. But I have no interest in... I have like no interest in like killing that Merciful here. I mean, I guess like we could get to like that weird spot where like they could... It might be relevant to actually do that. I don't know. This does have Phantasm, so we're going to give our 7 here. go ahead and pop this. They do only have 19 cards in deck, so it is relevant to remember that. I think this is a source where we'll take the 1 arcane damage. Like, this is okay. They can go get another Figment. That's fine. We'll just slowly, we'll have to deal with the Angels every turn. It is what it is. I do need to kill the Merciful Retribution, though. It's one that we need to get off the board. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, what I was saying a minute ago is that, like, I'm okay just leaving it in play until, like, I can get this off the board somehow, which does stop them from looping me. But at this point in the game, I don't really know, like, if they're really looking to loop me at all here, or if they're just, like, trying to actually win the game and by running me over. There should be, no, there's no passing mirages left. So, yeah, I mean, we're like, we're at a pretty decent spot right now, I think. We're at 31. They have 18 cards left. Like, they have quite a board here, but we're going to do our best to set this up here. They picked Herald of Erudition to go on the top here, which is fine. So I'm going to take 4. And I know that's like a pretty weird decision here. Okay, so the last one is another Angel, which is perfectly fine. So they're basically just going to force us to kill it, which is perfectly fine with me. We're going to go E-Strike. We're going to attack the Rebirth. I think the Rebirth is what we want to kill. And we have a Sink Below for this if we need it. So we're going to kill the Rebirth, putting the Sink Below. And we're going to choose Go again. Then I'm going to send the Boulder Drop at the Merciful Retribution to get it off the field. And then from there, we're now in a situation where we don't have to worry about, like, our poppers, like, turning their cards into, like, Figments here. So we really just have to clean up the Figments and pop accordingly, and just, like, try to keep our life total up at this point. And we should be able to clear the game from here, barring that nothing crazy happens. We've worked the game into a spot where I feel comfortable, but, you know, nothing is guaranteed, unfortunately. Looking at this hand, my gut is telling me that I'm going to be giving the Sink Below to the Soraya. I'm going to be giving the Chokeslam to a Herald, and I'm going to be taking one of the other Angels that they throw at me. And then our turn is going to be E-Strike, putting the blue Thunderquake on the bottom to kill the Soraya, and then pitching Rouse to kill the Pierce Reality. Just playing to, like, you know, doing what we need to here. Although I'm not entirely sure the Pierce Reality really matters. With no passing mirages in the deck, I mean, like, I guess it could come up, but I mean, so technically, I mean, it would be a lifelink steal of 1 here, which is fine, I think. I think that's okay. We're just gonna take 5 here. No, we're not gonna take 5 because it doesn't matter here, right? Or are we just gonna take 1? I mean, I think we should cover this up just to protect our life here. I wish I'd known that was all they were going to do right here, but I'm still okay with this. So now we're definitely just going to kill both of the Angels. We were going to kill the Pierce Reality, but now I could care less about the Pierce Reality. So we're going to attack the lifelink one. I think that one is very important. Having Go Again cards like this, like in this matchup, we have 11 Go Again cards sideboarded in the matchup here. We have 3 Rouses, we have 3 E-Strikes, 3 Zealous, and 2 Outmuscles. So we have 11 Go Again cards. Now the Outmuscle is a Go Again card, if you will. It's more of a, this card is a popper that situationally also forces cards out of their hand. So I like to have that card. Did they just add another Miller's Grindstone in my deck? They're just randomly all over my graveyard. And Titan's Fist, I don't know what's happening. I don't know if it's like representing when I've actually like attacked with each weapon or what. Maybe that's like a new feature that they're adding in. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of cool, but weird all at the same time. I think let's give the Disable here. Like the red 9s pretty much play around me getting blown out by one of the reprimands. So I'm pretty on board with just like giving the 9s whenever I can. Plus the Figment of Triumph is on board, so like any 7s are also okay. The correct play is probably just to kill the Pierce reality here. Just to be above board, just playing at 100% safe here. It's probably the correct play, but it would have been very good to be able to throw Spinal Crush at them. I would have really enjoyed to be able to throw the Spinal Crush at them right there. Let's give the Debilitate. There are no more -1s. Like, again, like if they're on Reprimand, they could have it here. Reprimand could be something that they're looking to get us with, but at this point in the game, I highly doubt. Like, we would have seen a Reprimand at some point, I think, if they had one. We blocked with a 6 and a 7 a couple of times here to like try and play around, to like try and get some of the less effective poppers out of our deck. So I think that if they had something like that, they would have already went that route. There's Soul Shield 1 of 3. I mean, we're going to have to fight to get through all these Soul Shields. There's nothing I can do about it here, but I mean, we're trying for efficiency at this point to just like keep our head above water. Okay, I mean, that's fine. Like, we're just going to overpitch for the Chokeslam here and just come in for 8. They probably have another Soul Shield, yeah, if I had to guess. There's one more left in the deck. It's probably in their next hand, or it's in their arsenal now. Know that there was a couple of them put together there, so I mean, yeah, let's just throw Command and Conquer. Like, I mean, it's like one of the better things we can be doing. It forces 2 cards out of their deck when we are actively trying to fatigue them at this point. I think at this point we've gotten through all the mess. Like, we used I would love for them to pass back on this turn. I was like, this would be a turn that I would love for them to pass back to us on. I am going to give the Thunderquake here because it guarantees that they don't have a Reprimand to like, haha, gotcha, or something randomly. Yeah, we're going to throw the Wallop at them. For the first time ever, if you're watching this, you are getting to see this. This is the very first time I have ever attacked with a Wallop, ever. So, that's cool, I guess. Oh, now I feel like I have some kind of like weird personal mission to like win a game by like pummeling a Wallop. Might be something I look into doing, trying to set up here in the coming weeks. Okay. I mean, yep. This is a thing. I honestly think I'm just going to give the Wallop and the Crown of Providence here. I don't need to by any means, but I kind of want to. So I think that's just what we're going to do. They did put the Figment of Ravages into their soul. Pretty surprised to see that, but I mean, yeah. And then from here, we're just looking to arsenal this next Rouse here. Like, it's perfectly fine either way. I mean, yeah, we're just gonna block 6. Like, I have no interest in giving up a bunch of life for no reason. And this is good, but it does have Phantasm. So they did a good job of like trying to set up a situation where they could bait my hand out, but it just doesn't matter. We just had it anyway. I am going to swing the hammer at them for 4 because technically it forces 1 card out of their hand, either because they want to flip an angel, because they want to block with footsteps and go to 1, or because they want to block with a card. It does technically force a card here in some fashion. So I'm interested in throwing the hammer here. Arsenaling the Rouse is very good, but I think this is fine. Let's just give the Thunk. It is our worst card here that we have. So Figment of Erudition. I thought we'd already saw that one where they draw 2 cards. I must have missed that. So there's a debate here in my head that I should have pitched the Boulder Drop to stop that. to throw the out muscle because it probably wasn't going to have go again. But I wanted to pitch the Cranial Crush for third cycle better for the Rouse the Ancients instead of pitching the Boulder Drop was my reasoning there. Thankfully, we do have a popper. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Like, it's not really relevant here. Yeah, we're going to get in there with the Wallop again. And then at this point, we're just going to run them out of cards. So I'm not going to lie, like, first glance here, Time Skippers felt pretty good that game. Like, the last Soul Shield, yeah. I was like, the Time Skippers felt pretty good that game. It got us out of a pretty bad jam that I wouldn't have been able to get out of without the Time Skippers. So Time Skippers and Double Hammer was pretty clean that game. This is like, don't get me wrong, this is obviously like a one game sample here of what we're looking at, you know, over the course of like, you know, the coming weeks of PQs and nationals here in a couple of months. So is he really about to play a Toma Divinity for the memes here to like draw the one card? That's hilarious. I'm glad my opponent has a sense of humor, at least. That's pretty funny. So they draw a card and then flip into protection? Sure. I mean, that's fine. Like, really does not bother me at all. So my opponent attacks. They're probably going to make a couple spectral shields. Not that I, like, again, it does not matter in any way whatsoever. They have a Tome, a Light of Soul, and I think there's a Figment of Ravages. I don't even think they can block the Command and Conquer. But we are going to kill the hammer just to play methodically here and to like continue to like play what I think is 100% correct. It might be it like, so if they blocked with one card, I don't know. Yeah, their last card might block, and if it does, they technically would not die because of the Spectral Shields and the Angel. I mean, they wouldn't die either way because of Ward, but it is, I think it's just better to kill the Angel here and just continue to play the like slow methodical game here where we like slowly grind them out. If my opponent like flips, yeah, I mean, that's fine. So I was like, I would be baffled if they did decide to do that. So actually, you know what? We should attack them, right? We should attack them with this because it's technically more points that we're throwing at them. And then if the ward does pop off here, they're left with one Spectral Shield. And then we get to just throw the hammer at them. Yeah, and our opponent just concedes because they realize the game's over there. My use of Time Skippers this game has been unmatched for me in any other game. I was able to use Time Skippers to kill Arclight Sentinel, Soraya, and Passing Mirage. That's insane value. Shortly after our use of Time Skippers, my opponent was able to use Tome of Divinity to be able to put Double Genesis into play, and I won't lie, I was pretty scared because Double Genesis can really set off some crazy turns for them, but thankfully we were able to still continue to pop things and then just clear the auras on our turn. Eventually we were just able to fatigue our opponent and still throw go again cards at them by clearing angels and attacking them. My opponent had no cards that blocked left in their hand, which means they were just actually fatigued at that point, but the game never really got out of hand after our first like Time Skippers use, and so we were able to keep the board under control and still apply pressure to our opponent when necessary. Moving forward, the one thing I would tell you is Double Hammer is truly a meme. Don't get me wrong, Double Hammer can be used very conveniently to actually clear 2 auras with Time Skippers and triple blue, but I don't think you need Double Hammer. I think you need to be on Titan's Fist and Auramegus in the matchup. I think that Double Hammer is too much of a meme. If you guys have any questions, you see anything you think I missed, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear about it. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Take it easy, guys.